Last night I made this beautiful dish, and this is stuffed tomatoes with veal. Veal was the star of this dish, and I know that you can use many different types of meats. You can use beef, you can use chicken, you can use lamb. Some people even use venison. In fact, in my next video I'm gonna cook venison, but I chose veal simply because that's what I had in hand. It turned out to be a very good dish, very delicious, and I'm gonna walk you step by step in terms of how to make it. Now, the origin of stuffed tomatoes, there's many different stories. Some say it's French, some say it's Turkish, but there's a multitude of variations. This is the Mas Matador variation. Let's get going. Besides veal, these are the ingredients you're gonna need. Tomatoes. I used medium tomatoes. You can use large tomatoes. Cilantro. Olive oil. Breadcrumbs. Garlic powder, not garlic salt, garlic powder. Pine nuts, and these I'm actually gonna toast to enhance the flavor. Kosher salt or sea salt and black pepper. One red onion. One shallot. And finally 2 eggs. Okay, so the first thing I did is cut the tops of the tomatoes, and I'm gonna keep them to the side. And the next step is to take a knife and cut around the perimeter of the tomato, because I'm gonna take a spoon and hollow out that tomato. I'm gonna remove the inside of it, and I'm gonna store it. And the reason for that is that I'm actually gonna be cooking that. That's gonna be incorporated into the filling for the tomato. Not a lot of magic. Take a spoon to remove it. Remove everything that's left. Make sure you have a nice hollowed out tomato. I like to put some kosher salt on the inside of the tomato, and then what I do is take a piece of paper and let the tomatoes rest on it. Some juice is gonna come out, that's okay. So you're gonna be left with the pulp of the tomato, the 4 tops, which you're gonna leave to the side. And what I have here is 4 hollowed tomatoes resting on a sheet of paper, salted on the inside. The next step is I'm going to take some pine nuts and I'm going to go ahead and toast them. Now, the toasting part is not too complicated. Basically, you heat them up on medium heat and it's going to toast naturally. No oil is needed because the pine nuts have oil. Then I'm going to go ahead and transfer the pine nuts to a plate or a bowl and leave it for later. While that's happening, I'm going to go ahead and cut some shallot. And basically you want to do it somewhat fine, not super fine. And you can basically do this. I did this while the pine nuts were getting toasted. And the pine nuts look like they're pretty well toasted, so I'm going to go ahead and transfer these pine nuts to my bowl. And I'm gonna let it stay there for a while. I'm gonna go ahead and cut the red onion. And next to it is the shallot. Now here comes the next step after this. You're gonna take both the red onion and the shallot. We're gonna take some olive oil in a pan and we're gonna go ahead and incorporate both the shallot and the red onion onto it, and it's gonna brown. So that's the next step that I'm doing here. Here comes the red onion, here comes the shallot, and you have this nice combination there. And basically you're gonna let it brown, and it shouldn't take a long time. While that is happening, I'm gonna go ahead and cut some cilantro, that I'm going to go ahead and put in the mixture. And that's what I'm doing here. So this is brown pretty well, and now I'm gonna go ahead and put the pulp of the tomato, the inside. Now when you do this, you're gonna notice a lot of water is gonna come out. That's okay. You basically want to let the water of the tomato evaporate, and once that's evaporated, you're gonna go ahead and know that it's basically ready to be used for the next step. So you can see still a lot of water coming out. That's okay. While that's happening, I'm putting some black pepper for additional flavor enhancement, and just have fun with it. That's what we did when we cooked this. And the water's almost evaporated, a little bit more. Come on, and it's ready. That's basically what it should look like. So initially when you put it, it's going to be a lot of tomato, and it's going to turn to less because the water is evaporated, and that's the consistency that you're looking for. So I'm going to go ahead and save this onto another bowl, and I'm going to go ahead and incorporate it onto the mixture later on. Now the star of this dish, the veal. Good quality veal that I'm gonna go ahead and spice with garlic powder. And I'm gonna go ahead and put the next item, which is cilantro. And after here you want to add the breadcrumbs and of course the 2 eggs. Now this next part is not very pretty, but somebody's gotta do it. Take your hands, mix it up really well, really get in there, and it's all gonna come together in a short while, and that's what it looks like. And basically what you want to do now is you want to incorporate that tomato that you cooked along with the toasted pine nuts. Now for this stage, I highly recommend, in fact, that you take a wooden spoon, because the tomato is still going to be hot, so you cannot really use your hands for that. So take a wood spoon, mix it all very well together, and now of course comes the fun part. This fun part is to take that wooden spoon and fill the tomatoes with that mixture. It doesn't have to be flush, by the way. It can be a little bit over the edge of the tomato. And we're gonna do 4. You're gonna put them in a baking dish with the filling pointing straight up, and here is number 2. And of course the last step after this, after you're done with the tomatoes, however many, is you want to take the tops of the tomatoes and put them on top of the rest of the filling. So here is tomato number 4, and we are done. Well, almost. Like I said, you want to put the tops of those tomatoes on it, and then you're going to put it in the oven. Now you want to put the oven at 400 degrees, and it's going to be in the oven for 45 to 55 minutes. My oven took 50 minutes, so I'm going to give you that range. And we're done, guys. So that's what it looks like. It was a great dish to make. It was a lot of fun. I hope that you enjoy this. If you liked it, please hit the like and subscribe button. Please share this with your friends. Thanks so much. And I hope you have a great summer 2020. I will see you on the next episode. Ciao.